Bootleg Hill, a meadery in downtown Davenport. Bootleg Hill, named after a neighborhood across the river. Am I way off on that?
No, that's correct. Bootleg Hill started in my house, my basement.
Originally, because we were able to get your meads at the grocery stores for a long time before this place was available.
Exactly. We started, we incorporated in 2013. Our first sale was December 10th, 2014. We sold to Hy-Vee on John Deere Road. That was our first sale.
Right on.
Yeah. And I started delivering mead out of my car. And I started making it in the basement. And then I determined that I could make a living doing that, but it would never really grow.
Right.
I needed a tap room, and or tasting room, and we decided to do this. We looked around. We wanted to be in downtown Davenport. We thought that was a great location. That was pre-flood.
Right. It's still a great location.
It is a great location.
There just were a couple of months, well, you know the story. Not the best location for a little bit there.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Yeah.
But we loved the location, and we started looking around at buildings, and I met my partners who actually acquire commercial buildings, and they decided to buy this building, and we thought we would be in this building a lot sooner, and it took about 2 years with the construction and getting the building and everything.
I want to talk more about this space because it's a beautiful space to drink mead in, but when you did open, I remember there were two reactions. Mm-hmm. One was, that's incredible that downtown Davenport has a meadery, that's going to be incredible. The other reaction was, a mead a what now? What does that even mean? You still have to kind of explain to folks what mead is and what you're doing here. So mead is not beer, it's wine, honey and yeast. Walk us through that.
Okay. A lot of people think when they come in, they think you sell meat. It's like, no, we don't have any meat. It's mead.
That's a butcher shop you're looking for.
Yeah, it's mead. And then they give you a puzzled look, and they go, what's mead? And then you explain it to them. What mead is, it's honey, water that's fermented.
Right.
You could use juices, but the main ingredient, fermentable ingredient, has to be honey. We're regulated as a winery, which is kind of odd because there should be its own category.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's not beer and it's not wine.
Right.
But it's kind of like wine and beer had a baby-ish.
Yes. Yes.
Is that?
Yeah. It is. It is.
I know it's much more complicated than that, Rick, but I like to have things dumbed down so that I can understand it.
Well, the beer part, you got to remember that we're not allowed to put any grains in.
Right.
Otherwise, we'd have to be a brewery. So we can't do that. And
so grain is forbidden.
Grain is forbidden.
Yeah.
Malt's forbidden.
Right.
So it's totally different than a brewery. And we're different than a winery because we're using honey instead of grapes.
Right.
So it's kind of, we're kind of, when I found out about mead, I started making mead at the homebrew club, Mugs, our local homebrew club. And I learned how to make mead, and everyone said you should do it professionally. And I said, we don't have a meadery in the Quad Cities. I'm going to bring a meadery to the Quad Cities.
I want to go back to the very beginning. You're making beer as a home brewer at first. You're doing beer at first. You don't start off in mead.
No.
You're starting off as a home brewer.
Correct.
Walk me through that.
Yeah, I started as a home brewer about 1998, and we started making beer. And then Scott Shar, Scott, he says, we really got to try mead. So I learned about mead, started making mead, and then I became a mead judge, a BJCP mead judge.
BJCP, I have no idea what those letters mean.
Beer Judging Certification Program.
Oh, wow, okay. So you're somebody that has you know what you're talking about when you're,
yes.
You have to go through classes and a certification.
And a real certification.
You're not just saying this tastes good. You have to say what's complex about it.
Exactly, exactly. So eventually I became a BJCP judge, and I decided I'd like to meet the industry, so I went out to Colorado to the Mazer Cup.
So you're turned on to meads, you're in Colorado. What is it about mead that you're able to jump in with both feet like this? What is it about mead specifically that you said, okay, no, this is it, I have a calling?
No, that's a great question. What happened was I tried all these different meads, and I learned that you can take a regular mead and make all kinds of different meads with it. Fruits, spices, and I was exposed to all the different types of meads. And that's what intrigued me, because beer, while it's exciting to a point, it's limiting. You know, you can only do so much with beer, and it's very technical, and you have to be very careful. You know, if you start making beer, you really gotta watch your temperatures and everything. And mead seemed to be more easygoing.
Yeah, it's a little bit more forgiving.
Forgiving,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So that turned me on, and then the fact that I wanted to make a standard traditional mead, and I thought I could then put all different kinds of flavors into it. So what I could do is make a regular mead that I really like, and then I can make a dozen or more meads out of it. So that made it, to me, a business proposition, because I was worried about making a certain type of mead and not being able to sell it.
Is the mead better at the meadery the same way that beer is better at the brewery? I mean, having bought your stuff at Hy-Vee for years, and then having been here, I mean, it's better here.
It's better here, and
Yeah.
the reason it's better is we have a huge tap system, but I also take the fruit and leave it into the corny keg. I do everything with corny kegs. I'm still an old-fashioned home brewer.
Right.
And I can put the fruit in the corny kegs or the spices, and that creates the mead, and it's fresher, and you also get a little bit better flavor. It's something that doesn't necessarily carry over the bottle.
Do you ever mess around and make beer just as a hobby? Do you ever need a break from the mead? Do you ever go home and make beer, or it's just all mead for you?
It's all mead.
Yeah.
I don't have
There's
time.
no looking back.
No, I don't have time anymore.
Thanks for showing us around.
Welcome.
Bootleg Hill, downtown Davenport.